Just finished putting a new fuel tank on this Ford NAA tractor. Now we're going to do some fluid changes. So we're going to do oil, transmission, rear end hydraulic fluid, all that stuff. But we're going to start with the oil, and this might be super simple, but I thought I'd make a video anyway because I've never done this before. Maybe somebody else will be in this boat. And by the way, this took a crescent wrench and about a 3-foot long treater bar and just about all the strength I had to get this fitting loose here. Now, it's supposed to have a gasket under it, so I have a feeling it didn't, so they just tightened it up way too much to make up for it. Let's see what we get here. I have a feeling from looking at the dipstick, that's pretty bad. This tractor hadn't run in, I don't know, 10 to 20 years last from what the previous owner can tell me. So we'll let that drip a while, take that plug the rest of the way out, and then we've got a new gasket for it so I don't have to put it on so tight. Let's move on to the oil filter. All right, while that's finishing up dripping, we will work on this oil filter, which I have loosened up pretty well. That's a 3/4 of an inch fitting right there, so just an open-ended wrench. Hopefully it'll pop loose. Gonna need 2 hands. All right, it's starting to drip pretty good. I think I got it pretty well broken loose. Yep. Whew. All right, we're gonna set this down here and let it drip a second. Then we're gonna have to clean that housing up. Also gonna have to get this gasket off, clean everything up around there. Let me spend a few minutes doing that and we'll be right back. I'm gonna try to lay things out here for you and show you how this thing goes together. So be sure you clean out the inside of your filter canister, especially where it's on the bottom. There's going to be a lot of sludge built up there typically, especially if you got terrible oil like I did. So the kit comes with a new sealing ring that goes up against the engine block. And then we've got our bolt, which I sprayed with some solvent and then blew out just to be sure that there's no crud trapped in there. So this gasket is going to go on first, and then we've got a spring and little washer. There's our old rubber washer. Then this one's going to go on next. Then our filter is going to go on, and we're going to screw the whole thing back on. So you've got, with a good kit, hopefully you've got some instructions that'll help walk you through all this. I'm going to put this together and we'll get it going. All right, I've got everything in there. Just when you get it put together, test it. Make sure you got a little springy action there, which is you should, to create a little tension. So we're going to go ahead and get our seal gasket and head over to the tractor and get all this put on. All right, we've got our canister back on. I did put a little bit of, just a couple of dabs of sealer when I put that gasket on. I don't think I needed it for sealing, but just to hold it in place so it wouldn't keep falling out. And then, you know, if you're used to a spin-on oil filter, you want to coat that thing with oil, but this does not spin, so I didn't do that. Just make sure that when it's tightening up, you're not wiggling around and accidentally wrinkle your gasket. So it doesn't need to be super tight. I just snugged it up there. Hopefully we won't have any leaks. Let's go see how that drain plug's doing. Well, our drain plug cleaned up okay. I give it about a 6. There was a gasket on here, but it was apparently put on with a lot of crud trapped underneath here that wasn't cleaned off. So I got that as clean as I could with a razor blade and a wire brush. You can see if we can put it back on without torquing it to 900 foot-pounds. And then I got 5 quarts of this oil, 15W40. Really, for this oil change, it doesn't make an awful lot of difference because we're not going to leave this in very long. We're going to probably flush this out. So our oil fill is going to be right here in front of the distributor. Just lifts off, and we're going to put 5 quarts in there and see if we've got oil pressure. Hopefully we do. Our dipstick's going to be right here behind the coil. So pull that out, and probably no way to do this holding a camera, but maybe we can get a reflection on there. And it looks like it needs 1 more quart, which is right because I put 4 in so far, so we'll put that last one in. All right, we got everything buttoned back up. Get our makeshift ignition switch on. Probably don't need a choke. See if we've got pressure. Give it some gas. All right, I take it back. We do need a little choke. Well, that was about 40 pounds, and I'm happy with that because we were only getting about 20 pounds with the ancient oil that was in there previously. So that's done. Now we'll just start working our way back with the fluid changes, do the transmission next, and maybe by the time we get all that done, we can have our rebuilt generator in that we ordered a week or so ago and get this thing back together and get it out in the fields working. Thanks for watching.